How it do, how it be, how it is, everybody. Welcome in and welcome back. We are kicking off our second summer series of the season. I am so very excited. If you didn't know, this is where I take the summer off of our regularly streamed 3 weekly campaigns, and I give the reins to the DM reins over to other amazing creators such as Offbeat Outlaw. A couple of announcements to get through right out the gate. Gen Con's coming up. I will be sponsored by the Crit Awards. We have a game going with some of these weird yahoos in it, and we have another panel that is the do's and don'ts of DMing. You can find all that at Gen Con on the website. If you like these summer series or any other campaigns you see here, you can head over to the YouTube and watch previous campaigns and summer series. There is a lot of content over there. And if you want to join our community, we are cooking up some bingo for this one as we speak. But you can head over to our Discord, where you will find a channel labeled as such, and you can find the memes and the community and all that fantastic stuff. Let me hand it over to Offbeat Outlaw.
Hello, my name is Offbeat Outlaw. I am the Dungeon Master for this series of Garrakus Magic School for the Ethically Dubious. If you're wondering why I sound like, as Taco put it earlier, smoked an entire pack of cigarettes because Lexi made me, it is because I finished my LSAT on Thursday, and I screamed so loud that I lost my voice. So we will be sounding like this probably until next week when I recover. Passing it off to Taco.
What's up, gamers? I'm Taco, and today I am playing a character who is known as Startch, who is a creation from the deepest depths of my own mind, made with so much consideration and character depth and lore that you would not even begin to fathom. He is a chef, he is a wizard, and he is a big fella. Luna, educate me.
Hi, I'm Luna Wolfscript. I made the correct Instagram, and I will be playing Mavis Sunstone, who is an elf. She's a little bit of druid, a lot of bit of wizard, and she's a school therapist.
Now who?
Beth.
Oh, I'm Sir Fevers. I am playing Tsusoet Whitweary. I'm very excited. We will get into more of him later, but it's mostly druid, and what he brings to the table is he's out in the field a lot, but he takes some druids under his wing and gives them some more advanced classes and stuff like that for the various caster focus initiates that come to the college. I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm Sir Fevers. I make D&D content, and sometimes I look like a Viking. Is anyone else not gone?
Jared,
take it away.
Yo, I'm Jared. Big surprise, and I'm gonna change things up a little bit character build wise. I'm playing a wizard, who's also an elf, an astral elf, so that'll be cool. Space elf. All that fun stuff. My guy's really into spooky monsters and studies spooky monsters and makes really detailed notes about them in a dark room where nobody can bother him. Pretty much. Yeah, that's all I got really. So that's that.
All right, Offbeat.
Party. As we find ourselves soaring through, the camera pan soars through a massive, ethereal, astral plane. There is borderline nothing here. It is all but darkness and maybe a few select stars that prickle the outer scape of everything. But in the center of this nothing, there is a lively sound. Fireworks, celebration, magical spells being slung, and illusions being cast as today marks the glorious first day of summer school for Garrakus School, for the magic school for the Ethically Dubious. This is the most prestigious magic school in all of the realms. Garrakus, the headmasters, have prided themselves throughout the years on pursuing knowledge at all costs. And as such, you have attracted a wide variety of good, bad, evil, ugly, pretty, and sometimes downright horrible people to study. Today is the first day, and as the freshmen of the summer school begin to pour in through the doors, eventually they find themselves in the assembly hall. And you all waiting in the wings to give your speeches for your relevant classes and relevant departments that you were oh so informed last minute you had to prepare. Garrakus makes his. Garrakus the Third. You see Garrakus, as you don't often do. You've all met him at least once. He brought you here, he found you in your relevant places, your relevant home worlds, and brought you to the magical school in order to further your studies and give you resources beyond your comprehension, as he put it. Turns out what he meant is tenure, a paycheck, and perhaps some government grants. But Garrakus did not let loose on his promise, and he did give you what you desired. One of you was an intern a few years back, and you found yourself now here working full-time at potentially the most grueling therapy job you've ever had to run. But the pay is damn good. Garrakus steps forward. He is an unassuming man if you looked at his stature alone. Very thin, very frail, very gaunt and sunken. However, as you see his 6'7", overly lanky frame, and his voice speaks out, you now realize that he is something of a force of his own. Dear my students, welcome to Garrakus' magic school for the ethically dubious. Cheers ring out. They all worked very hard to get here. I encourage you all now to pursue magic and knowledge for its own sake. I am sure at your previous schools you have been taught many lessons on ethics and how to pursue knowledge the right way. I encourage you now to forget all of that. There is only one true sin in the universe, and that is ignorance. The active choice to remain stupid is unforgivable. I encourage you all to become wiser, smarter, better now. Your teachers are eager to await you, and your relevant majors, I'm sure, will be most excited, as I have gathered the most intelligent, most capable, most overwhelming forces from across the universe in order to teach you. And should you find that any of our studies are too much, I am sure you'll find the robust therapy division. Mavis, this strikes you as very ironic, as you know you are the only therapist on call. I would like you now to meet the two heads of the biology department. One of whom cannot speak to all of you, as they only speak within 30 feet. Lanfere Rofiel, please, your speech. And thus, Garrakus leaves, and you know you will not see him for quite some time. Lanfere, you are brought forward. Please introduce your character, what they look like, their vibe, and give me the most interesting fact about them ever.
Okay. This guy looks like he's never seen any sun, ever, on any plane of existence. Just the palest, pallid, just hair, like, super duper white. Kind of disheveled, honestly. Like, who knows when the last time he showered was? He probably doesn't know either. But he probably does like scan the audience to see if there are any like keen minds, like any like similar, like he see the look. He's looking for the look.
He's looking as he makes his way out. Make a perception check for me, please, to see if you find any fellow keen minds.
Let's see, where's the skills?
Taco, please.
What?
24.
Yes.
I need a reference photo.
Okay. With a 24, you look out into the audience, and you notice that there definitely are a few keen minds out there, as you would call them. You know that knowledge is not necessarily something that is key, that you just look at somebody and necessarily know, but you see the people who are willing to learn, the people who are eager, who really tried to get here and are so proud of coming here. You also see a lot of people who clearly got here from daddy's money, and you know that Garrakus brings them here solely for the human experimentation. So you see that there are lots of keen minds, lots of evil fuckers, and some people who you know are going to leave this school broken. But there's definitely a good batch this year. Some very capable people have arrived. Give your speech. Introduce the biology department. Improv now, go.
All right, well, somehow they managed to drag me out of my lab, but I'm here, and I'm sure they're regretting bringing me out here. Yeah, so if you see my name on the class list, most of you just don't take it. I see a few of you that might pass. Most of you won't. But if you like noodly creatures and possibilities of madness, you know, that's what I research. Maybe you're looking for like dragons and stuff, you know? Probably not. Yeah. Don't take my class. I'm done. It just turns and just bustles right off stage.
As you go off stage, you hear people murmuring, just like, what the fuck was that about? And Tsusoet, your colleague Lanfere has just given maybe one of the worst speeches of all time.
Oh, yeah. No, it's fine. I'm about to
Your
double
speech
down.
assistant looks to you and goes, "Do you want to say anything to them? Okay, let's go out." So your speeching assistant, what does your assistant look like, and then what do you look like?
My assistant is a very, very tired and shell-shocked looking individual who just kind of shambles forward a little bit, and I confidently, in my plate mail, moonsickling crazy magical shield on my back, just kind of stomp forward, all confident, and then spokesman Shamble McGee on my right here, I just kind of put my arm on his shoulder, and he kind of looks at me, and then in my voice it says, "Welcome everyone, I am Tsusoet Whitweary, and most of you will not be able to take my class, as you have no touch with the natural way of things. But for the sacred few who do understand the druidic powers, I will carve time out for you." And I say that in druidic.
Some of them look so proud of themselves because they know druidic, and you see them just like,
I'm looking at all of those individuals.
They all look so fucking nerdy. Like, these people are the most nerdy fucking people you've ever seen. Every single one of them has a pen protector. The most nerdy fucking people on the planet.
A quill sheath.
Yeah, a quill sheath in their pockets.
Perfect. Most of my studies follow in looking after cryptids and discovering their true nature. We live in a mythical land, many mythical lands with dragons and aberrations and stuff like that. There is no reason these cryptids should not be organized and classified as such. And that's where I come in. Good day.
And you waddle off. Before we get to the next professors, the evocation professor walks forward, or should I say floats, as a textbook, Evocation 400 Advanced Tyranny, flies through the foyer, gets up to the mic, and sigils begin to apparate as a voice emanates from the book. Hello, class. My name is Evocation 400 Advanced Tyranny. So, I hear you're all very interested in the evocative arts. Make no mistake, they are dangerous, as even masters can lose their form. As you see here. And everyone goes, yes, that is true. I lost my body once. But make no mistake, you will find new life through evocation. As we are also the studies of healing magic. I encourage you all to make very good use of me, as you will find several copies of me within the bookstore. Now remember, this is a bookstore, not a library. We have a library, but you will not find me in the library. I am in the bookstore. I cost $400, and yes, if you're saying that is too much money, go fuck yourself. Anyway, have a good day. And Evocation 400 Advanced Tyranny leaves the stage.
$400 textbook? That's,
That's cheap.
That's not that bad, actually. Here's the real question. Are there used textbook bookstores?
They're in the books. You can get the for rent stuff from the bookstore as well. Startch.
All right.
You are up next. You are the head of Home Economics, a subdivision of biology.
Is it like a stage?
It is a
Like a
stage. It's
podium.
like an assembly hall theater of sorts.
Okay. So walking up onto stage is a stout man weighing probably around 350 pounds. So much girth at the belly, wearing all white, a stained apron with the straps wrapped around the back and then tied again in front. Clean shaven face, bit of a double chin going on. There's a wooden spoon tucked between the straps being held there for quick use, and he's got like a piece of paper. He lumbers up to the podium. Puts his piece of paper on the podium. I'm sure you all know that we are here for knowledge, but we live in a world with magics. Isn't that right? You could wake up every morning and you could wave your hand and you could have sustenance to feed a town. We could solve all the world's problems, couldn't we? But we're here to learn. Not for the betterment of humanity. Not for the sake of progress, but for the sake of knowing. For in my class, the culinary arts, this is the truest form of self-expression. Only in this way, by wielding the flame and the water and the spice, will you find true art. All of you who are in this room who share my love for the edibles, who have a little bit of the belly, you will find a home with me in a hearty meal. But you sickly looking ones, come and I will teach you to enjoy life for what it is. This voice is melting inside of my mouth. But that is it. If you want to know the truest things, come to me. I will teach you the forbidden secrets of the bakery. Good night. I will waddle off.
You waddle off stage.
Waddle, waddle.
And a lot more teachers come forward to the stage. Gusteau, a skeleton, comes forward. Hello, my name is Gusteau. Thank you very much. I am the head of the anthropology department. I am a lich of over 4,000 years old with 7,000 soul charms. And if I ever need to get a new mannequin for my students, don't worry, I have many cadavers. Please be sure to pay good attention to your students and your studies, and do not fail my class. I will kill you and turn you into cadaver for next year. Anyway, have a good day. And he leaves. Lorelia, the illusion wizard and head of fraudulent activity, steps forward as well. She does not look like a wizard. In fact, you all know that she is not a wizard. She is a rogue, and she has made her way here entirely off of a fraud and a Ponzi scheme. Hello, everybody. I am the head of illusion magic. She does a stupid fucking sleight of hand trick and she pulls a card out of thin air. Everybody's amazed. It pisses you off every year. However, if you'd like to take my class, I'll be sure to show you the illusions of the real world and how to become powerful and make money. Thank you. And with that, she throws a smoke bomb on the ground and everyone goes, is that teleportation? And you all know it's not teleportation because she walks off stage. Several more come forward until finally, about 2 to 3 hours later, the last teacher goes, and if anything is ever too much, please, I would like for you to meet our therapist on our head of therapy, Mavis Sunstone. Mavis, please introduce yourself.
Okay, so Mavis is a wood elf. She is relatively short. Like 5'3", 5'4"-ish. Has very light, blonde, almost white, curly hair that she's got like pulled back and it's tied with a piece of leather. And she looks very put together. She's got like nice, simple. She's got like a sweater vest thing on, and she's got like little circular like glasses that she wears. Looks very put together, but also like kind of like waited a long time for all these shenanigans to happen. She kind of walks forward and she kind of waves. She goes, "Hello, I'm Mavis Sunstone. You may call me Mrs. Sunstone or Mavis, whichever makes you more comfortable. I am the therapy department. So if you ever find yourself needing someone to talk to or a quiet space to step back from all of this, my door is always open. Thank you." And she is going to wild shape into a golden retriever and leave the stage.
And you leave the stage. Some very tired students begin to get up from their seats, and they begin to leave the assembly hall, some of whom look much more shell-shocked than they were when they came in, some looking all the more determined. And the assembly is dismissed. Back in the teacher's lounge, though, you all find yourselves lounging, having a grand old time. You all know each other relatively well. You've worked here for a few years. This is your teacher lounge, as you all are vaguely affiliated with the biology department, and you let Mavis sometimes hang out because Mavis is next door. Mavis has had to put up with the smell for too long to not be allowed inside. With that, please, you all describe. I would like for you all to together describe what your teacher lounge looks like.
Can you elaborate on the smell? You said
so. The biology department has a smell because there's wild animals, aberrations, creatures of all varieties and kinds, butchering, cutting, snapping, stabbing, and all sorts of nasty business that happens in the biology wing, and it just kind of wafts. However, and right beside that is the therapy door, and poor Mavis has been there. If you, however, Startch Mange, if you are like, I am the chef, I am the cook, you can put up a bubble to prevent that from entering inside your chef's domain, so you can be safe from that. However, that would require budget for Mavis, and they just don't have that for a therapy department, you know. So that is the smell of the biology department. That is that. It doesn't smell in the lounge, I'll say that much. But everyone, please, just throw ideas. Go for it.
We have a dartboard with portraits of students that occasionally get placed on the dartboard.
Yes.
Everything I think of is too morbid.
Is this a prestigious position that we hold?
You guys hold a very prestigious position. Being a teacher at this school is kind of like you are the smartest person on the planet in your respective era, in your respective field. Maybe smartest is probably the wrong word. The most capable in your respective field. The most something in your field. So it is a very, very, very prestigious position that you guys currently hold. Especially, and I will say not all of you have tenure. Like you've some of you are just like, you guys are like, I'm new. You can be new here if you want. You can be here for years. But it's like, whether how in jeopardy your position is, I will leave up to you, if for character motivational purposes. Mm-hmm.
There's a single snow globe, in one of the little alcoves, and there's a person in that snow globe, and it's been there longer than we have, and we don't know who that is. And whatever, some student really deserved it. We just don't. We'll tap on it every now and then.
Some Krampus stuff.
Mavis has put up some like motivational posters, and there's some like calming scented candles, like lavender and stuff in there.
Like the cat, like hanging onto the bed sheet that's like hang in there type beat.
And she tries to take down the pictures of the students on the dartboard, but like she'll get one down and then it's just up there again the next day. So she just like gives up usually.
We probably have like a full like espresso bar, like where you can go up and make like fancy coffee.
Can we have hammocks? I want a hammock.
There could be a hammock. You can hang one up in the room. You can hang up in the corner. Remember, you guys have budget. Mavis is the one who doesn't have a money.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's everything she has added to this room. She has bought herself with her own money.
Oh man, you're like a real
average
teacher.
U.S. teacher experience.
She just brought it from her apartment. It's just she's had it since college days. She just moved it in here.
But this
finding
does
out
mean
that my
she's
teacher-
probably the best therapist ever. Like, all of this entails that she is an incredibly capable therapist.
Me finding out that my teacher most likely paid for every pizza party we had themselves.
Oh my god, maybe.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I have like a mini office in the corner, like a tiny desk with a pile of books and a pile of coffee mugs. And I don't know why I'm here, but I am here, and I'm just scrawling away constantly.
My hammock is above that, like by like 10 feet. Just in case you need something, I can float. So I can float over.
There's a microwave, or a fantasy equivalent, with a note taped to the front of it, written in Startch's handwriting that says "out of order," but the microwave is functioning.
I thought I was gonna say no fish.
Straight up out of order is funny. Oh my god.
We all use it. It's just whenever Startch isn't in the room. And he probably knows. He could tell.
But you guys feel free to continue to add to this room as the campaign progresses. Every week, feel free to add something new. But at this point, it's fair to say there's a table, there's an espresso bar, there's Lanfere's alcove with Tsusoet's hammock above it. There is the cooking corner and Mavis's posters all on the wall. After a rather uneventful first day of classes, at this point in time, you hear a knock on your door in the teacher lounge, and you know that only teachers can see these doors, so you know that this is probably important.
I look around the room to see if anybody's gonna answer the door.
Is it abnormal for someone who would normally be in here to knock?
It's a little bit strange. It's a little bit weird for someone to knock. It's like if they can see the door, they'll just walk in, but like knocking is a little bit peculiar.
Why are you knocking? This isn't a bedroom.
The door handle turns slowly, and in it pokes their head is Garrakus themselves. They don't usually go to the teacher's lounge. All right. My apologies. Mind if I come in? I must speak with all of you at... Is that Mavis? Does Mavis have permission to be in this office?
Yes.
They let me in,
Here,
so.
isn't she?
You and Garrakus have don't have a great relationship.
I'm up by the ceiling, by the way.
He begrudgingly realized that he needed a therapist in order to keep students on board, and you're just too good at your job to fire at this point. Because who would want to work at a work therapy for a strictly unethical school? Either way, I feel like all of your skills will be necessary. I have a special venture for you all this summer. He closes the door behind him. You see, a lot of your research has gone into locating the damage-typed snails that thus plot the multiverse. Startch, your cookbook for how to serve them is most beneficial. Quite useful, I would say.
What?
They're delicacy.
Oh.
He eats one.
What damage type is it?
Cold. He's sweaty.
He's cooling himself down. Well, I guess I should say then. Tsusoet and Lanfere, your research into the force-damaged snail, the ever-missing one, as we called it, has proved fruit. It seems like there may be a venture worthwhile of a field mission to locate it. However, if we are to truly be on the forefront of this, I ask that we do this as a work study. Take this first few weeks of classes to locate a student who you think is worthy to bring with you. And in that case, I guess we'll make this a special operation or a handful of students, your choice, to bring with you on a work study to go and locate the force-damaged snail. Feel free to look through all the departments. I wouldn't do this if it wasn't urgent. Other rival schools will soon make note of this discovery, as it is already published information.
Thank you.
I'll let you know more once you have picked your work study student.
I have to go wake up my caterpillars, and I will leave.
You see, like, as you're getting out of the hammock, Lan is just waiting. Alright. Goes back to writing.
I fly.
No. Okay. I was gonna make it a bit, like a recurring bit.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's
fine.
fair. Player Jeff feels bad.
Oh, no.
So it's clueless. He's the sociable
No, it's totally fine.
side of the coin.
But yes, you make Garrakus as you leave the room goes, okay. Also, I think he left a little too early. But it's fine. He wasn't going to be very important for this anyway. Several ventures have discovered the one true god, the mollusk, is moving. We may have a theory that connects the two. We all know that eldritch types, them warlocks, have a particular affinity for force damage through their eldritch blast. We think that the force damage snail might be related to this. Look into the warlock covens that spot throughout the plains. Be sure to pick your work study appropriately for this venture. If they die, just be sure to retrieve the corpse. I mean, retrieve them in whole. That is all. Have a good day. And he turns on a heel point and leaves. All right, where do you go and get your caterpillars?
So I go back to my kind of smaller classroom. I'd like to think it's kind of, well, a lot of the wizards like their towers and stuff like that. So mine's somewhere on the bottom floor. You know, I don't need a big fancy tower. What I need is a kind of an open courtyard area. But what you find is a lot of unseen servants tending to all of these caterpillars in cocoons. And I'm going to go over to one and grab the little paper and read the student name. Put it back. Go over to another one of the cocoons, grab a piece of paper, read the student name. No, put it back. And eventually pick one of them, reach into their mind, see how they're enjoying the experience of just being soup. Determine that they're not insane. Nod to the unseen servant, who will with my help, of course, as a high-level druid, wild shape them and return them to their less delicate form.
The students plop out.
Just one. The rest are still cooking.
This student, who is a student of the druidic studies, you know, is very undruidic in a lot of ways. Very much big nerd energy. Has learned everything that the druids can through intelligence alone. He does not have a good wisdom stat, but he has just simply studied to get here.
Hello?
Has your mind expanded?
I think so, Professor Tsusoet. Might I ask, why did you wake me from the caterpillar cocoon?
To see how your mind was coming along. I might have a need of you.
Oh.
Interested in getting a little sunshine?
He looks very much not willing, but he also really wants a good grade. So,
sure. What exactly did you have in mind, Professor?
I'll fill you in on the way. Get ready to leave, and I will walk out.
This nerdy-looking fella who looks somewhere in his mid-20s picks up all of his books and his spellcasting focus. You have acquired a level 15 arcane sidekick.
Whoa!
These are going to be your work study students.
And you said I can only bring one?
You can only bring one. Everyone can bring one student.
Perfect.
You can go and like replace them and swap them out and stuff, especially if they die.
What's his name?
As you peered into his mind, you realized that his name was Jeffathan.
Jeffathan. All right. Thank you.
The shorthand is built right in, you see.
This is gonna be most good, Professor. What exactly is this outside of the trip going to be?
I didn't catch where we were headed exactly.
No, you didn't. You left before you finished.
What did I say earlier? I'll fill you in on the way. And then continue on the way.
Jeffathan follows close behind, books clutching close, wand in hand.
Get yourself a bag of holding. And any other magic items you might need.
You can outfit these people personally, your work studies with and with up to, let's say, 6 magic items of rare or lower.
Okay.
In its rarity. Back with the rest of you, though. You can take your time picking your work studies. You can also try them out and battle them and do whatever the hell you want, because these are your ethics be damned. But what are you guys doing now? You're still in your thing. You can go and teach a class. You can perhaps go and meet your students. You could go and do your research. You don't really, you got a lot you can do here. Right now, your basic goal is find a work study to bring with you on this eventual trip that Garrakus is going to send you on. But until then,
do we have any way to efficiently contact specific students? Like if I had someone during the fall semester or the spring semester or the fall semester, and I know that they did well previously and now they're here for summer school, would I have a way like...
You would be able to check, quickly check the registry. If they were one of your students especially, you would know that they'd be coming back. So, if you had a student that you really, really liked, what was this student? Who were they? What were they?
So I wanted to go check my role and send a message to the 10 or 5 students that had the best marks in my class last semester who came out for summer school, and basically be like, urgent meeting, kitchen as soon as possible, failure to show, failure for reward.
All right. Are you going to do that right now? Because they will come instantly.
Yeah, I can do that right now.
All right. All
And
right.
I'll go meet them in the kitchen.
You go and meet them in the kitchen. You go and head to the kitchen. What does your kitchen look like as you enter?
I am glad you asked. Ugh. What? We are in standard medieval aesthetic Europe type beat?
We certainly can be. This is an interdimensional school, so any type of... Yeah, so any type of cooking utensils that you would like are available at your disposal. We already said there was an espresso
microwave.
Yeah, we already canonized a
microwave.
Yeah, a microwave and an espresso machine. So there's a KitchenAid in the corner if you want.
Okay. So there is the teacher's area, there is where I work, my workstation, spotless. It glistens as the lights hit its surface. Then it is the student area is appropriately clean, but you can tell it wasn't cleaned by someone who deeply cares about their workstation. I would say on Startch's side, there's a full cook range. There's probably a hearth, at the middle where you could put a large a cauldron or big pots or something like that if you were doing stews and whatnot. Then I would say probably dry goods on a rack, and then next to that would be probably a flat countertop, probably with just polished stone of some sort, so that way it doesn't get damaged or it doesn't soak up raw meat juices. But then again, prestidigitation exists, so who gives a shit? You can lick the raw chicken for all I care. And that would be where all of the knife work and stuff is done. And then it's kind of that is then mirrored on the student side, where it would be they would have a workstation where they would have their knife, a small countertop, then a space that would have whatever the equivalent of an individual electrical burner would be. And then they would have dry goods and stuff on the wall behind them. So are they already here by the time that I get in?
As you arrive, your 5 best students arrive, and these are your best students. How would you say your teaching style is? Firm or loosey-goosey?
Oh,
You a self-study kind of guy, or are you a you will do it the right way? Are you Gordon Ramsay, or are you
okay?
a
I'm glad you brought it up. He is like Gordon, in the fact that for the people who are humble and care and want to try and put in effort, he is gentle and reinforcing. But for any student that is arrogant, they're an idiot sandwich. Those people will be called donuts. People that he can tell are invested, he will put more into them than he will into the guy who can't figure out how to make a bologna sandwich and thinks he's the best chef.
You see a couple of students arrive already. You see a a collection of arboreal light, like the northern lights that coalesces into a person, known by Melia, telepathically controlling her utensils, is already at her station. You see a large hunk of boulders called Rocky, is currently ready. Rocky is one of your best cookers of meats that you've ever met. This man can get the sear and the inside that perfect temperature. If you want a blue steak, he can make it. You want it well done, he'll kill you. But he's got the way to do it, and he's currently already mashing up a nice fucking steak ready to go. Polished his rock salt hand. You have Gregor, a regular standard human, but Gregor he's good with them knives. Quick cuts, fast cuts, he can make it all. He is the master of the vegetable stew. You have Spitfire. You've got an elf woman, very, 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 very tall, even for an elf, 7'2". However, it makes her very good at getting all those ingredients, but also she tries to say that she's not cheating by using prestidigitation, but you've seen her use prestidigitation to get even the most novel flavors out of it, so you let her pass. And finally, your last great student is a sentient kitchen set. An entire KitchenAid has been brought to life as someone cast animate objects and forgot to lose concentration, and so it's still going, and he has had a new lease on life. He calls himself KitchenAid, and he is there. They all turn to you, proud of their teacher.
My star pupils, greetings. It is so good to see you. Welcome back. Oh, I'm sorry for such short notice, but we have to get to work. Today, I have a challenge for the lot of you.
Yes, chef.
Music to my ears. Here's the deal. You will all be competing against one another. You will be traveling for 7 days on foot. Everything that you will be bringing with you on this journey will be carried in a pack by you physically, and it has to be carried in this way. You must prepare food and rations for those 7 days. You will make me a sample of one meal, like one of each item that you will be bringing with you on these rations. Everything must fit into a pack that you can carry on your back and that you will be able to walk with. There are no limitations to ingredients, anything like that. I will be observing the cooking process, understand the conditions will be rugged. If you struggle in a pristine kitchen, the likes of which that I maintain, you will fail on the road.
Yes, chef.
And then I post up and watch, waiting for them to basically be like, if I were to travel for 7 days and I had to meet those requirements, this is what I would make. I also made a point to emphasize that they'll be carrying things. It will be difficult and they will be physically moving themselves everywhere. So I'm hoping that they make like calorie dense and protein dense foods.
Okay. Now they're all good at being chefs within their respective planes. They're probably in the top tier already. I'm gonna have them each roll a check, just to see how they do on this little endeavor. Okay. Oh, poor KitchenAid.
Okay, it's okay, good, because if he had to come, we were in trouble.
KitchenAid begins hurriedly making his food. However, KitchenAid is very bad at understanding not understanding, but the idea of you're going to be carrying this food and it needs to be capable and it needs to be kind of something you can eat on the move and on the road. A little goes over their head, just like ever so slightly. They make lots of sandwiches and things, but they get a little bit extra with the plating. They make like a croque madame with the egg cracked on top, and it's tasty, it's delicious, but it's a little messy. They also bake a cake on the side, and you need a knife and fork for that. But that's just something you know that their signature is the cheesecake on the side, and they brought it with them anyway. Melia and Rocky outperform the rest, though. Mm-hmm. Melia, the collection of the Northern Lights, with their telekinesis and their various powers, they sing through the air as they collect their ingredients. They know they need stuff that can be prepared quickly and over a fire, so they take advantage of meats, and they take advantage of dried meats specifically, things that can be aged and things that can be carried once prepared. They also know never forget lentils and beans, as you'll be eating lots of those, and they prepare their dish of choice is a stew prepared in a wooden bowl for carrying, a lentil stew garnished on top with seasonings, as well as a beef sandwich, not sliced beef, more like chopped steak style, with a jus sauce on top. Rocky also understands the assignment. This guy knows meats. He knows how to make them, and he knows what to fucking do. He gets out a pork chop. He gets out a few other meats. He gets out stuff that you could hunt on the road specifically, and he mashes them into a mincemeat with his fucking rock salt fist. He powders them, he seasons them, he puts them together. He makes fucking smash burgers, his signature style. He makes a set of smash burgers to be eaten, chops up the bread, and he brings it together. They all present their food. Gregor and the elf, and Gregor and the poor elf woman, who never actually did tell you her name, though you know her name to actually be Tabitha. They present their meals. They're just kind of lackluster in terms of like what you ask for. They're nothing special. They're exceptional, but they just aren't what you need. Your choices, if you were to pick the people best for what the specifications you laid out, would be Melia and Rocky.
Okay. I walk up to KitchenAid. KitchenAid, my boy.
Yes, Chef.
This is a beautiful spread, but impractical. You will not be accompanying me. It is okay. It is quite good,
Chef.
but there are just some things about our corporeal form that may not be intuitive, and I don't know how you would fare on the road.
Various utensils droop. And the various attachments. And they collect themselves in the bowl as they get ready to pack their stuff and go.
I am sorry. I walk up to the other two who've slightly underperformed.
Gregor and Tabitha.
Both of you. Again, you are one of my best students, so obviously the food is good.
Yes, Chef.
Mm-hmm. But what do we strive for here? Anyone in any of my classes who pays half a note of attention can make a glorious meal. These lack inspiration. You didn't push any boundaries. For this reason, you're chopped. I'll see you in class. I walk up to the last two.
They stifle back tears as they go, yes, Chef. And they walk out with their heads held high, but clearly crestfallen.
Okay. Yeah, smash burgers. We got the stew. I like
smash
both.
burgers and the bean and the lentil dipping.
Stew and the sandwich. Yeah, that sounds dope.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Startch loves bread. It's kind of in the name, but both have bread. Which do I like more? I taste each one again to get like a rating of like what is most enjoyable.
I will say this. Rocky's meat is always going to be better. He knows it better. He seasons it as he goes. He just literally just slams it in and goes, bow. He knows what he's doing. Melia will always make the smarter dish. It will always have it. If you're looking for someone for maximal use of resources, you'll probably want to go with Melia. If you're looking for somebody who is able to bring out the best with what you have, you should take Rocky.
I did really like how Rocky planned. Like he was like, "Oh, these are things that we can hunt." I did really like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you actually made the decision between these two hard.
I did.
You're good at your job.
Thank you.
Both of you. These meals, they're delightful. Look at them. Both delicious, practical. This meal, the stew and the sandwich, makes me feel like I'm at home in my living room. Nice and warm by the fire. Rocky, yours is practical. The forethought to choose cuts of meat that we could find on the road. is smart and resourceful. But unfortunately, only one of you can accompany me. Assessing the people, who do I just at a glance think could hold their own better?
Rocky is durable but lacks magical capabilities. Melia is an innately magical entity. If you're going
Are both of them daddy's money people, or
these people work their way here? They're both very, very strong. I will say Melia's got more of a magical inclined background, considering they're in the elemental subtypes of things, but they both had to kind of work pretty hard to get. I guess they both are elementals, though the rock people are like, we're just rocks, dude.
Okay. What was the woman's name again?
Melia.
Melia. Turn to Melia. Melia, my girl, this is beautiful. Please understand that you have my greatest appreciation for the meal, and you approached this task beautifully. But I fear that there is too much overlap between our skill sets.
She gives you a
for
solid
that reason
nod.
alone, I believe this is not the task for you. I turn to Rocky. Well, Rocky, what you've displayed with this meal and what I've seen in classes prior, you're great, and you understand things that I do not. And you cover gaps that I do not. And I put my hand on his boulderish shoulder. I go, Rocky, for this venture, will you be my sous chef?
Yes, chef.
Glorious. Prepare your things. We're going on a journey.
Rocky turns to Melia, and Melia turns to Rocky. They both shake hands as two weirdly elemental creatures could. And they both Melia leaves as Rocky prepares their things. But I do think we should call a break here, as I need to piss, and we will get back with the other teachers / therapists as they pick their work studies for the year, for the summer season. Woo. 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I say the final numbers now. Jeff can't stop me. I'm the DM. Ha! So when we last left off, the party is just busy choosing their work studies. We're going to be with them on a very important quest for Garrakus' magic school for the Ethically Dubious. Or GSED, as I've seen, as the players have already anachronized. Or should I say Luna did, because Luna already made the documents. So, at GSED, let us go over to Lanfere Rofiel. Now, Lanfere, you've just been told to get a work study. What is your selection process? What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna do a similar thing to Taco, in that I'm going to pull out my frickin' student roster of people who have taken my class and or lab or whatever it was. And I'm gonna pick not the people who did the absolute best.
Yeah.
But the slightly above average types. I'm gonna pick 4 of them, or 5 of them rather. And I'm gonna send them a missive. 24 hours, no later. Turn in a 45-page research paper about skittering horrors. You get a letter grade.
45 page research?
45-page research paper. Best one gets a letter grade.
What's the formatting style?
Oh, they better get it right.
We do IEEE here. We do IEEE here, so they'll know that much. They
better not get it wrong. Immediate fail. There not be a single mistake.
Failure is not punishable by death, but I do fucking hate it. Skittering I'm looking at what this is, because I'm not even familiar. No, it's Ravnica. Gotcha. That makes sense.
Picked a high level, high-ish level aberration.
All right.
Almost at random.
I'm going to expedite this along, just like in terms of the overall time. Now, you picked the just above averages. Is your thing, what I'm assuming you're thinking is these are the students who did just enough to pass. As like the
Well,
idea.
these are like... So there's like the top tier, like A students. These are the Bs. That couldn't quite...
They couldn't quite grasp that last portion, that last little
they didn't quite make it. So these are the Bs and maybe C students that were interesting enough to be included, you know?
So, you send out 5 of these missives. You wait. And you do your work. You sleep. You wake up the next day. Next day arrives. You get back to doing your research as you are wont to do, as you are compiling a massive book of every creature ever. A mammoth undertaking that you are somehow surprisingly making significant headway on. I would say you have an 80% chance that you know a creature when you see it. Which is insane considering the entire multiverse. On the 23rd hour, your first paper rolls in. It appears on your desk. It is a stack, stapled, bound with a wire. And as you open its first page, you see that the student is clever. You remember this student. They are a gremlin. Gremlins are a homebrew creature. You know a lot about gremlins. Gremlins are what happens whenever an object is misplaced. They are a natural phenomenon that occur. If you lose a pen and you forget about it, within 17 years, that gremlin will become a thing. And it will apparate with all the memories of the pen that it was once held by. Gremlins have a very short lifespan of exactly and precisely 17 years. There's no real answer for why. You've looked into it yourself, and you seem it is the best. It is the proof that the universe is very humorous. But gremlins make use of their short lives quite a lot. Despite living so shortly, pens dropped by prime ministers have often once again held that position, not a few years later, as soon as they became sentients. Any battles that are once forgotten, the weapons and armor of the gremlins will emerge from the ground once more to refight the battle several years later. Gremlins are quite commonplace, but also it's quite random what they might do. This particular gremlin was actually one of your quills that you misplaced in your undergraduate year, and found you again after you moved house, and was like, you taught me everything I know. I want to learn more from you. And has spent the last 5 years learning from you. And they're not the best student, but they do know quite a bit. And as a result, they have turned in their 45-page paper is actually a flip book of their battle and encounter with the skittering horror. With full thaumaturged sounds via glyph of warding and magic mouth to illustrate the battle. And you realize they cheated. It's not exactly 45 pages, as the pages continue to cycle around and reprint themselves new images as you flip through. You get in total an entire 10-minute battle sequence of them navigating the skittering horror as a movie. But that is your first paper. This gremlin, you know, goes by the name of Quillian. The next paper that you get in is another student who you met a few years ago. Took a particular interest in the conjuring and the conjuring of entities en masse in order to orchestrate evil schemes. They were very caught up in evil schemes, though. They are a particularly rowdy fiend. Dresses consistent. Oh God, this is the stereotype. He's the kid who shows up to school every day in a fucking suit. They're the kid who constantly raises their hand and goes, teacher, don't you think? And they're the worst. But he was a B student, and she was pretty good, and you thought it might be funny to see what he pulls up. He gives you a really good research report on the skittering horrors themselves, finding himself particularly immune to the maddening presence. You realize this is because he himself is insane already and is full chocked of madness. But he was unable to come to that conclusion because, as we said, B student. This is Saint Gregor III. Some just call him Saint. Some just call him Third. No one calls him Gregor because everyone knows Gregor is from the chef class. And your final paper that you get in from another B student is there's a lot of sentient items that run around. Wizards and magical people get themselves in trouble often, and as a result will, years prior, make silly jokes to themselves, like, well, if I ever die, I've always wanted to be reincarnated as like a bulldozer, you know? Wouldn't that be funny? And they'll cast the spell. Well, one of these jokes panned out, kind of, for this guy, as this fellow decided, like, well, if I ever wanted to be reincarnated, I would clearly just want to be like some hot girl's feet or whatever. And so he is now the severed feet of himself. He wasn't a hot girl. He was a particularly grimy fellow, but he was a B student and was quite talented. And for all of his stupid jokes and japes, he is now still a talented conjuration affiliated researcher. You find his research paper details a lot of the skittering horrors, focusing mainly on its habits of on its prey habits, focusing on various detailed analysis of the people themselves that the skittering horror chooses to attack, choosing to be unseen. All these papers are up to snuff. The Gremlins was clever, but not necessarily a paper. Saints is an evil bastard, but it was a comprehensive use of how to use skittering horrors as a method of taking over entire realms. And I can't name him that. Can't name Foot Guy that. Let's call him Toenail. Toenails.
Oh my God.
Toenails, despite him being a rather weird individual, did make a very good analysis of prey habit. Finding that if you're going up against an unknown foe, being able to analyze how you're going to be eaten is probably a good way to counteract how you're going to be eaten. Who's your pick?
I will take the time to scribble almost illegibly on like the last page of each of them. For Quillian's, it's just gonna say hot no, and then I'll return that back to him, and then
down the tube it goes.
I will have a little bit of trouble selecting between the other two, but I think I choose Toenail.
You choose Toenail.
I choose Toenail.
All right.
For Gregor's note, it just says decent. You're annoying, and that's all for him. And then for Toenails, it's just pack for the trip. Be ready.
Put your hiking boots on. That or he'd be the one to show up in those like industrial toesy shoes with the like can stand on nails, one of those.
And his thought process is, for Toenail, I could just put him in a box. Like I could just easily get him out of sight and out of mind. I don't have to listen to schemes. I don't have to
don't have to deal with a very hyperactive gremlin who's just very
correct.
Who just loves you. So, all right. You send that to Toenail. Satisfied with your decision, we now hand the camera to poor old Mavis. Mavis, you realize that that message was meant for you too. You are to find a work study. But you don't really have students. You're just the therapist. You have worked with a lot of students over the years, and also you have studied under people before. This might be an opportunity to either reach out to an old master or reach out to somebody who was particularly insightful, who you helped them grow. Or perhaps you made them worse. Maybe anti-therapy is a thing that you are capable of. If you're like, you know what? Fuck St. Gregor III. I hope you die. I hope you never find love and alienate your whole family. That's what I wish for you.
She's gonna send a note to like whatever professor she studied under that was like the least morally gray of the bunch. And be like, hey, do you have any students that like share my similar passion to like helping other people?
You said you continue, sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
You can go.
You send off this letter to the least morally gray teacher, I would honestly say, is the evocation wizard. Evocation 400 Advanced Tyranny, or Eat, as some people call him. So you send off the letter to Eat. And the reason being, Eat teaches healing as well, and is a very avid healer. Evocation magic actually is cure wounds, healing words, the spell heal itself are all under that school of magic. So you send this letter out to Eat. And within seconds, you get a response. Well then, pleasure to see you as always, Mavis. It reads out loud in his thunderous voice. I am certain I can get a couple of students for you. If you're looking for people with more of your kind-hearted sensibilities towards health and protection of others, I have a very interesting fellow for you to meet. You might say that she's a old chip off the old block. Actually, she's here now. I hope you like her. In walking through the door is a sentient spell scroll. This is Eat's daughter.
Whoa, that's cool.
How has this happened twice?
She speaks out in her voice. She sounds very close to her dad. Hello there, Mavis. I hear that you're interested in some healing capabilities.
Yes, I am. I was recently notified I had to seek someone out to help with an assignment. And I'm kind of scoping out to see who may be best fitted for that.
Well, that's most interesting. Are you looking for somebody particularly capable in the healing or the devastation?
You see the text close red in accordance with her mood and thoughts.
Healing would be helpful. It'll probably be a very hands-on project. And I will need some assistance.
Well, it's a shame I don't have hands, but I do certainly have a lot to give you.
And you see that the spell scroll casts Mage Hand and apparates itself in an effective body. It can actually concentrate on 2 spells at once in order to maintain this, as well as other spells in order to bring people back to life and bring them back to health. You note as well about Evocation 400, page 43. As is her name, or you can call her Paige. You note that she is very bubbly, very nice, and despite sometimes being a little bit too excited to blow things up, is all the same very interested in uncovering more healing spells. As Mavis puts it, there are scarce few spells actually capable of healing people. Yeah, I'm interested in creating more, perhaps. Maybe my dad could help me, but he's more interested in the explosions. That's why he lost his body.
Can be useful in some cases. And we may even need that this trip. I'm not exactly sure what all happened, but I want to make sure that I have some assistance in the healing and counseling realms, because we will have a few other students on this assignment as well.
Oh, I see. Are there other sentient objects like me coming?
I am not sure yet. I will have to speak with the other staff that are on this assignment as well. But
Excellent.
maybe.
Oh, it's always so fun meeting them. It's always so interesting hearing how they got that way. It's always so fun. I am this way because my dad was lonely and he just tore out a page from himself and made me.
That's really cool.
I miss being part of a book, though. It's a shame. One day I'll be a book. And
got dreams and aspirations.
Yes.
Got goals.
But with that, is that who you're going to select as you send out one letter, or would you like to meet more students, Mavis?
I kind of want to meet more students, but I'm also vibing with this option.
You can just put it to the side and then be like, let's go meet some more weirdos. Let's go plumb the depths.
Let's do this. Let's go vibe check.
Okay, let's go plumb the depths. Who else? You can also message your other professors on this assignment, but most sensible students as well, and see who they can conjure up.
I'll do that.
Okay. Which of your who are you contacting? You contacting Tsusoet, the mushroom who is definitely not the most morally on the up and up. Startch Mange, who's really good at cooking, or Lanfere Rofiel, the recluse.
You know what? Startch.
All right. What do you message Startch? Not Staunch. Startch.
You blended him with stonks.
If I did, you've had so many ST names over the year.
It's really easy to keep track of them.
It honestly is. It's just there's a lot of them, you know. It's like Pokemon. You're like Pokemon, you know.
We've been at it for a hot minute.
Stonks.
Lania, Melina, Nicola.
Yes, she will message him asking if he has any students that he's got a lot of passionate students, I imagine, so like we want some passion here. That maybe have softer styles of cooking and creativity, and friendly. Words are not coming to me tonight, so that's gonna be the
Oh man, okay. I go see Mavis in person. Mavis, I got your message. Two come to mind.
Okay.
Now, in my opinion, there's a correct answer. And the other is the bleeding heart option. I have 2 students who I could not bring with me. They were not my first choice. The person that I would recommend and I would say is a correct option is, what was the elemental lady's name again?
Melia.
Is Melia. She is elegant, light on her feet, practical, will always find the smartest solution to the problems that she's faced with. But unfortunately, her and I have pretty big overlap in skill set. So she's what I would recommend on merit. However, I know you are a sensitive type. I have another student. He's brilliant. He's a bit unorthodox, but he holds within him in his metal casing an electric passion for the world that he has come to know. Unfortunately, I could not elect to bring KitchenAid with me on this journey, for I do not know how he would fare without access to some sort of immediate arcane conduit to continue to power his glistening metallic form. But I know that it would... Well, let's just say if he got to go on this journey, I'm sure that his whisk motor would whine something mighty fierce in excitement if he got to venture out of that beautiful world that he's only known for the 9 short months that he's been sentient, but God, does he love it so. So, those are the 2 that I would refer.
Okay, those are good options. Do either of them have any healing aptitude at all?
I'm sure in a pinch you could use KitchenAid's electrical.
You know Melia has healing spells. You know KitchenAid entirely lacks healing spells.
I'm not, well, okay.
I'll say that this is what you know. What you say is up to you. But
Okay.
You know this in your head. You know that is a fact.
Okay. I assume that KitchenAid could be used in the most dire of circumstances to maybe shock someone away from the brink if ultimately necessary. But the other one, she knows how to, actually do healing magics.
Well,
I mean, KitchenAid, listen, I'm a chef. He was once my tool. He is now a chef, and I can guarantee you that if you eat the food that he makes while taking a quick break, you would, I'd say maybe feel 1 to 8 points better. More than normal. He could also make you snacks every morning. That would also make you feel anywhere from 2 to 6 points better for the day.
very, very specific.
You could eat them quickly,
Right.
like faster than a normal doing of thing, I think. But yeah, no, the girl is like, she knows how to, like, she could probably bring you back if, like, you died or something. Maybe. I don't, anyways. Look, I couldn't decide between the 2. They're both just such deserving candidates.
And that's valid. You clearly very much care for both of these students.
And it would just break KitchenAid's little heart.
Yes, little
power
power
supply.
His
He
4
has left.
speed motor.
I definitely think that KitchenAid needs opportunities to
And you could be the one to give them to him, Mavis.
I think that would be really good, and that opportunity is one that KitchenAid really needs. I am, however, a little concerned that you were concerned about their well-being if they were to leave the school. So that makes me a little concerned about choosing them as
Well, I mean, if you're given the option between KitchenAid and a literal shithouse made of rocks and Rocky, like, I feel like you gotta pick Rocky.
Is that who you picked for the assignment?
Yes.
Okay. I will talk with Melia.
And KitchenAid.
I will also talk with KitchenAid. But I cannot promise that they are the ideal candidate for this. And I am
understand.
deeply sorry about that.
I know that you will do the right thing. You know what it is in your heart.
If I may, real quick, there's a window in the side of the office, and you see me run by really fast, and then there's a brief pause. Jeffathan is running by with like 27 pine cones. Top speed. That's it. Thank you.
Jeffathan is so sweaty. It's stretched.
One day I will make that man into a stew.
Oh. Okay. Not sure about that one.
This is a conversation we should have,
Yeah,
actually.
this is we need to. I don't know if I have time to unpack all of that right now, but
Mavis, we are here to push the boundaries. We each have our practice. I'm a pioneer in the culinary arts, and that man is made out of delectable portobello. God.
I certainly understand that, and I know where I work, but I also have my field, and I feel like a conversation we should have at a time where we have more time to discuss that.
I'm more than happy to. I'm
Okay.
sure you'll come around and you'll see it from my side.
Perhaps. But
You'd make a great truffle sauce. Oh my god.
Oh my god! I have thoughts, but I will wait. I have thoughts.
What do you think about eating him?
It is unique to him. He's uniquely fungal. I don't look at you or the students and go, oh, they would be good cuts. No, they are of the flesh. I mean, he is as well of the sort, but it's more of like veggie flesh, like vegetables, like an apple.
Okay.
Like
Well, I will let you go. Thank you very much for coming down to speak with me. Do you have any idea where I might track down Melia and KitchenAid?
They're just outside the door.
Okay. Okay. That is great to know.
I can send them away if it's too soon.
No, you can send them in. Yeah, it's okay.
One at a time or together.
Let's do one at a time.
Who do you want first? Really?
Melia,
about
I
it.
guess.
Okay. I understand. It's been a pleasure as always, Mavis. I leave, I go to the door, I open it, and I address KitchenAid. I go, KitchenAid, I'm sorry once again. She has taken priority over you. Mavis will speak with her first. I'm sorry to keep you waiting, my boy. And I'll walk off.
Melia gives like a concerned pat to KitchenAid. It's not your fault. It's okay. It's okay. Melia opens the door, walks in. Professor Mange said you wanted to speak to me.
Hi, yes, I would. You can take a seat wherever.
That's okay. I don't need seats. I float.
That is true. I am looking to have a student come along on assignment that a few members of the staff are coming along as well, as including some other students. And I just need someone that would be able to help me in regards to the nature of healing things and making sure that the students that are along with us on this trip are motivated and kept in high spirits.
Oh, I see. Well, I am a frigid arboreal elemental. I am very good at preserving things. I keep lots of food preserved within me at all times, as Professor Startch Mange said to do in one lecture in Cooking and Preservatives 100. He said, always have them on hand, and so I did. But I do like healing people. Please make an insight check.
DM.
Yep.
Unrelated completely. It's raining outside now.
Okay. Poor Jefferson.
pretty big storm. Not that big, but like it's noted. Wow, hey, wow,
God.
raining.
That is a 25 on the insight check.
This is the most evil person you've ever met in your life. Melia is a murderer and freezes people to death in order to cook them later, as they view the entire world as their smorgasbord and their entire world as their charcuterie table. However, they are a damn good chef.
Startch is here for it.
The real question is, does Startch know this?
I think it's like an open secret in his eyes. Like he's never seen direct evidence or caught them or been directly told, but he, much like he would eat the mushroom man, he understands, he can see that this is a person who has acted on their desire to push the culinary limit.
But yeah, Melia's disconcertingly evil. The pleasant exterior is entirely an act, as it's very hard to read arboreal lights, but you were a therapist for an insane school where people are anything, so you know it's
shit.
You've seen some shit and can read things especially well, eat regardless of their rather strange exteriors.
So she's just gonna clock this and then like not reveal any.
Could you make a deception check for me, or a persuasion, whichever one is higher in this case?
Oh.
Persuasion.
Okay.
Kinda nice.
Melia does not clock it, and you see her light shimmer as if she got away with a grand lie.
Well, thank you very much for coming in and talking with me. You are on my list to consider for this assignment. If you have any questions for me about it, you may ask them. If not, can you send a KitchenAid in?
Of course. You see Melia turns around and lumbering in.
Didn't hear you.
KitchenAid like actually speak?
You'd have to cast message or sending or Rary's telepathic bond.
Oh, you can call for me. I can help.
Otherwise, it only speaks in whirring noises.
I have message, so I can do that.
Okay. Hi.
Hi. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks. I'm really excited.
Okay, so trying to find a student to assist me on a assignment that several members of staff and other students are going on. And I'm looking for someone that can help in the means of healing and keeping a general positive attitude on this. Ready?
Ooh, I'm so good at positive attitude. I'm the best at positive attitude. You see, I was given life 9 months ago, and I have loved it every day. You guys get to have this all the time. I was a random box. I was made of metal and nothing, and there was nothing. And it was so dark and cold. But then I was alive, and now I'm here, and it's amazing.
That is so awesome.
It is awesome. I hope they never find the wizard who cast me, because then they'll dispel him.
Okay. Do you have any aptitude for healing?
I can make really good brownies, and I love cheesecake, and I can make lots of baked goods, and I come with an oven setting, and an oven set is outside as well. He's part of the animated objects group that we are.
All of that is awesome.
You notice the distinct lack of a mention of healing of any variety.
Yeah. Evident. Thank you very much for coming in. I'm putting you on my list of people that I'm considering for this. We should definitely talk more if you have any concerns or you just want to come in and talk with me about anything in the future.
Really? Like friends?
Yeah, like friends.
Okay, thanks! And I go outside.
Maybe she's just gonna kind of like slide down in her chair and just sit like this for a bit.
Would you like to meet some more students?
We might just go with Paige at this point. Like, I don't know what I was expecting, but Taco.
After you like come out of like your like schlump of like what the hell just happened, you like sit up. Are you at like your desk or anything?
Oh yeah, she'll be at her desk.
Okay. You hear like a little squeak, and at the center of your desk there's like a gray bluish rat standing right there, and he's looking knowingly at you, and he's holding like in betwixt his two hands like a really small ornately wrapped like candy, and he puts it down, taps it, and then runs off.
Okay. Is this something that Mavis would recognize this rat?
The behavior makes it seem like it should be Startch's familiar, if not
Okay.
someone else is like trying to make it seem like it is.
And I like, I'm a little unnerved about being brought just a piece of candy at the school that I work at, so.
If you have Identify, you could cast it on the candy.
I do have Identify.
Mhm.
Do that. So yeah, so she'll pick the piece of candy up and cast Identify on it.
All right. What is this candy? Startch. I didn't make this. This isn't
Yeah, I
God's
know.
creation.
This is a sin. No magic effects or any spell effects or anything like that on the candy. It appears to just be a small piece of gourmet chocolate to whatever cocoa/sweetness level that is to Mavis's preference.
Okay. Mavis will unwrap it and take a small bite out of it.
Is yummy.
Okay. She's gonna wait a little bit before she eats the rest of it.
As long as you're not like allergic to chocolate candies, you're good.
Okay.
Excellent. You guys all take your day to select, and Tsusoet and Jeffathan, you will return back from outside, drenched. You watered, Jeffathan soaked, damp, about 50 pounds heavier.
A slightly deeper green hue.
Mm-hmm.
What was the purpose of this, teacher?
Okay, listen. I'm gonna. How big is he? Is he a little dude? Is he big? Is he a tall?
5'5".
It's like
He's
5'5".
5'5". You have a 5'5" human. This is a normal fucking dude.
I'm like 6'5". So I'm gonna kind of shrink a little. So it's just, you know, my armor is like right here. You know, when I'm looking at him. I chose you because of the ones who show promise. I feel you are lacking in wisdom.
Yeah.
And to gain wisdom, you must have experience. So, what we're gonna do? Okay. You found all 27 pine cones. That was a good job. Very impressive.
And then you told me to throw him into a fire.
Yeah. But that was just for
Okay.
fun.
Oh.
You need experiences. That's why you were in the cocoon. Tell me.
Okay.
Go on. Tell me.
I tell you what, Professor.
Of your experience being a caterpillar, becoming goo, and en route to becoming butterfly.
Well, it was terrifying. And then I was goo, and I was terrified. And then you brought me out, and I was very scared and wet. And I am still wet. So.
I have a couple of questions for you, and I want you to answer them when we're done with our journey.
Immediately pulls out a notebook and pen.
What is the difference between bravery and fearlessness? What's the most important step a man can take? And can you explain the color green to me without actually using the color?
Well, get right on it, sir.
I'm trying to help you think outside the box. And experiences and going on strange journeys and having harrowing experiences, it does a lot. It's good. It's good for growing wisdom.
Okay. I will, Professor, he says in Druidic, very stiltedly.
And then I responded, go find Lanfere.
Lanfere doesn't like me very much. Is it okay if you said something? Why am I to see Lanfere?
Because you need experience.
Okay. Jeffathan dejectedly leaves your presence.
This is something I would do to you often, Lanfere. And what I'm getting out of it is your vibe check on the new potential.
Okay.
Lanfere, where are you?
The only place that I am, my personal study. that I ever
Are you in the lounge or are you in your study?
study.
Okay, now what does that look like?
I mean, it's not super like crazy. It one wall is just crammed with literature. Like there's no space. It's on the floor. It's just there's a fortress of books and scrolls, and then the other side is a huge desk with like several groupings of like fanned like stacks of books and notes. Like I have this is one tab and that's the other tab and then there's another tab over here. And I'm all working on it simultaneously. But I'm just like wheeling my chair to one side and wheeling it to the other. And then there's a door on one side of the room that just says do not open under any circumstance.
Okay. On the entrance to your office, you hear a knock. Is your door open? Does it have like a peephole? Is it glass? What is it? Or is it just completely locked shut? Dark.
It's closed and has the exact same sign as the actual don't open door.
You see,
so he knocks.
Yeah, you hear a
I
knock.
don't acknowledge him at all. It's test number 1.
Lanfere? Professor Lanfere? Is this the right door?
I'm not there.
118727 Anvil Building. Professor Lanfere, are you in here?
You hear him start casting a spell outside. You please make an Arcana check to recognize it.
All right. Have it? Okay. 19.
You recognize it to be locate creature. You can't counterspell it, but you could cast anti-magic field to prevent it from finding you right now.
No, it's fine. I don't.
Okay. I was like, how much
I'm
you
not
want to
gonna
fuck
like
with this
shut
game?
him down.
All right. Locate creature is cast, and he's in there. Professor Tsusoet sent me to see you. And he didn't say why. He said you would know. Oh, shit. You see, Jefferson, you see walk in. You don't recognize the kid necessarily. Button-up shirt, soaked for some inexplicable reason. Just absolutely soaked all the way through. He looks like he just jumped out of a pool. You see the hair is wetted down, but normally likes to keep it relatively neat. Quite short. Doesn't necessarily wear glasses, but he definitely sounds like he should. He's got a quill in his pocket, and he's holding a stack of books, which seem to be various different spell scrolls. So it sent me to you for some reason.
I'll not wheel my chair around and face him just yet. Mm-hmm. Glanced at him as he walked through the door, but I'm just like finishing up this page of whatever the heck I'm writing. And then just uncomfortable silence. Like close the book and then turn and then steeple on my armrests. And I just slow glance at the puddle of forming water on the floor, and then I'll just look back and just stare into his soul for a bit.
Make an intimidation check at advantage, please.
Oh, yeah, that's super great at this. This digital thing is biting me in the butt. That's a 10.
You know, this might not be. You're not the most intimidating figure, Lanfere. You are a mousy, pale professor. However, this is a mousy, pale, wimpy student, and it is a success.
Nice. I would have settled for awkward just as well.
That was the fail state. It was just kind of weird. But you do manage to. The student does kind of. You see him straighten out a bit and just try to look more proper and less exhausted.
Okay.
As he stands.
Why do you think he sent you?
If I could be totally honest with you,
Please.
I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing here and what he is and what he sent me to do. He sent me out in the sunny sky because he said it was a good day, and then he cast control weather to make it a torrential downpour because he said it was much better that way. And then he made a fire so I could throw the pine cones I'd collected. But I was running around all day collecting pine cones because I don't know if you know this, but pine cones don't naturally grow in this current climate. So he just made me go and find them that he'd hidden like an Easter egg. But I'm pretty sure he forgot because he kept mentioning there's 28 and he numbered them 1 through 28, but I know there was only 27 because the 21 was missing, and he said go find it, but I don't want to find it because I know it doesn't exist. I have no idea what he's doing, and I am scared. Thank you. And he stands back up straight.
Would you say that your task was stupid?
Stupid would imply I understood it.
Maybe the solution was to understand that it was a silly task.
Make a raw intelligence check. Do you actually know why he would do this, or are you just fucking with this kid? I need to know.
Yeah, the real dice didn't do me any favors either. 14. Hang on. Yeah, 14.
If you need a lesson about this, I have the lesson. I literally have been sent to find the 21st pinecone before.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Are you gonna get beaming help from Startch into your head? Or
No, I will out of character tell it what it is, and if you guys like it, use it.
Mm-mm.
You're not? Okay, Lanfere.
So 14.
With a 14, if there was a deeper meaning about this whole pinecone situation, you know that Tsusoet is a weird fucking individual. And you were pretty sure that that meaning is probably only useful to a mushroom person. And if it is useful to someone else, you have no idea why it was communicated in this way. So, I think that is what you glean from this with a 14 raw int check. Make of that what you will.
As this is not the first time this has happened. What did you say your name was?
Jeffathan?
Well, Jeffathan. Here's what I will pass along to you. You must find Professor Startch and explain to him green nuggets.
Yes, Professor Lanfere, thank you for your time. And he turns and walks out in the same sopping wet trail that he came in with as he closes the door.
He closes the door, I will press to digitate, like scooch the water like a squeegee out the bottom of the door. I just turned back to my books.
That's funny. Jefferson makes his way looking for you, Professor Startch. Professor Startch, where are you?
You said you had the answer, so the buck is passed.
What were the green nuggets?
That's a good question.
You get the answer.
That
Oh my
sounds
God.
It's not about the
Improv.
answer, it's about his answer.
Probably in the kitchen. It's probably the easiest.
All right.
Easiest.
What are you making in the kitchen right now? What you up to?
What time is it?
I'd say it is getting late. I'd say it is getting into the evening, perhaps maybe like a 7 p.m. situation.
It has
All right,
been run around all day with no clear instructions.
Yeah.
I am prepping dough to proof overnight, like
Okay.
bread.
Is your I'm actually unfamiliar with dough prepping. What is that? What does that entail? What does that do? What does that
Basically, like flour, eggs, all the stuff to make like a bread, and then the proofing process is basically you put it in either like a slightly warmer or a slightly colder, humid area to let the dough like rest and rise a little bit, so that it gets more poofy.
Nice. Okay. So you're
And it
prepping
usually takes
that,
a while.
and you hear a knock on your door. Professor Startch.
Yes.
Hi, I am Jefferson. I am the work study student of
Come inside.
Tsusoet.
I can't hear you through the door. Come on. It's
Oh,
loud in
oh, oh, okay. Enters in the sopping wet child. I say child, they're mid-20s, but
Jeez.
they are very scrawny and small.
You are a mage. No, why are you wet?
Tsusoet said I needed to let it sit on my skin to feel its true understanding.
Interesting.
Drip,
What does it feel like?
drip, drip. Wet.
If I may.
Yeah.
Summon the storm. We stand in the storm for like an hour
Flash.
just to experience the storm. That's it. That's generally what we did.
Okay. Has this happened to me before? Or is this, have you sent me?
Yeah, I definitely would have
Damn
done something like
students.
this to you before, I
Okay.
think, as well. And to Mavis. Mavis? I'm so sorry.
Mavis.
Mavis. Okay, I
You're
was right.
fine.
Marvelous. So what does the water feel like?
It's wet, sir, and it's cold.
Okay. Whoa.
Professor Lanfere also sent me to you to tell you what a green nugget is.
Well, I turn and I start kneading. Like, I continue to work while he talks. You're welcome. You can talk to me.
The thing
You
is
know,
I don't really know what a green nugget is. He just told me to tell you what it is, but I've never learned what a green nugget is. Do you have any idea where I can start with? Is this the work study?
This dude has
I
not
just-
been listening in Druid class.
Oh yeah, I was being totally random, but
Wait, I'm out of the loop. Should I know what this is? Okay.
Is it a thing? Is it something I should know for the work study? Is that what it's about? Is it just random tasks?
Breathe. Into the nose. Deeply. I want to see your shoulders rise. Like the bread in the oven. Now release. Out. Slowly. Good. Jesus, my boy, this is labored.
I'm stressed.
I understand. I understand why he sent you on these tasks. Come, wash your hands. Help me with this. Come over here. I cut off a ball of dough and I toss it to him. I was like, you need to knead it. You do this. I show him like how to press it with the heel of your palm. You need to make sure that it is smooth. And when it is smooth, it is workable and pliable. And then it will be ready to be turned into bread. And it will be ready to eat and bring joy. And then it will be gone.
You see him trying to work, and you notice that there is actually quite a lot of dexterity in his hands. He's a very proficient caster, but he's not used to these motions at all, and it fucks it up entirely. For about a good 10 to 15 minutes of him just trying, it just like tears apart in his hands. He's just can't seem to get the right pressure that he needs.
We keep doing it. This is just like busy work to make sure that he's not just like having a panic attack while he stands next to me. This is a fidget toy.
Okay, he eventually gets the hang of it, though.
Okay.
All right, Professor. I feel like I've kneaded the dough.
You've done good. Here's another ball. Jefferson, you're very learned. I feel like you know your books inside and out. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Most people here are like that. Very smart, very logical. That supple mushroom man is not like that.
No, sir. He's by far the most confusing professor I've ever studied under.
When dealing with him, you need to think abstractly. So,
Okay.
on the topic of green nuggets, I imagine you do not know what a green nugget is.
No, sir. That was also Lanfere who said that one.
Ah. And what did the mushroom man say he was trying to develop in you?
Well, he said by the end of the work study, I must answer these questions. Bravery versus fearlessness. What is the most important step a person could take? And explain the color green without using the color.
I see. Okay. He's rambling to you about experience.
Yes.
Ah, okay. I see. Have you ever lied?
Sometimes.
Are you good at it?
Not particularly.
I can tell. I don't know what a green nugget is. But I could probably make something up. In real life, you have to be agile, quick on your feet. I don't think there's a fucking green nugget, kid. But you could come to me and tell me that there's some druid nonsense that is in the shape of a green nugget, and I'd probably believe you if you were confident enough about it. But the way that you breathe and the way, well, you're eating better now, but...
Okay.
Sometimes you just need to adjust. Be like the dough. Be pliable.
With that rather actually good lesson.
Well done.
I think we're going to end session there. Thank you all so much for watching the first episode of Garrakus School for the Ethically Dubious, or G said. I have been your Dungeon Master, Offbeat Outlaw. Please watch my YouTube channel. That's where all my videos are. Pass it off to Startch.
What up? I'm Taco. I play Startch. And the more I play Startch, for people who have been around for a really long time, I am realizing that Startch might actually be a more developed stone.
Ooh, that's way back.
Like his vibe feels very similar.
I love it.
When
That's
he's dealing
season
with the
1.
people that he likes. But yeah, that's a deep cut for long shot people. I love this character already. I'm really surprised at how quickly he's coming together. And
Hell yeah.
as chat said, I was physically kneading my desk the entire conversation I had with that strangly green bean child.
As was I. I was also
Good. I need to know about the supple mushroom man and what the fuck he's teaching. So fast.
Hello, I am Sir Pfeffers. I didn't plan on any of this, but I'm pulling a little bit of the inspiration of a Loden, where he's just introduced as this kooky dude And the whole time he's like, I'm not trying to teach you a lesson, I'm trying to teach you a mindset that is outside of your experience, this highly structured way of thinking that you've got. We need to start breaking that and thinking out of the box, getting experiences, and then trying to up that wisdom stat, because you gain wisdom by experiences. And this kid has been at the desk all his life, so this is kind of his sink or swim. Yeah, I'm excited. We will be doing a raid, so bear with me as I get that lined up. I'm really excited to play this character. He does think he's helping the kid. That's the thing. He's pretty sure he's people don't always get it. Some people crack, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited. Also, gang, there is a summer series on Tuesday, if you didn't know. It is being run by Ben Brainerd. And that's kind of it for that. If you want to get caught up on past stuff, hit up the YouTube. Feel free to join our Discord. We will soon have bingo, I'm sure. The fan base, I think last season, 2 summer series ago, they created bingo for the various campaigns, and it's been absolutely insane. More on that in the Discord. But I think that's it for me. Let me throw it over to Luna Wolfspirit.
Hi, Luna Wolfspirit. Find me on TikTok and Instagram. I'm loving Mavis so far. She has her work cut out for her. This will be interesting. Hopefully she doesn't have to stop Startch from eating a staff member. But you know,
I am so excited about this.
I'll pass it off to Jared.
So, Lan's whole purpose of that was to maybe intimidate and mostly confuse, and then just pass it off. This has happened way too many times for his liking.
You know, later I'm gonna be like, so what'd you think of him?
And I'm going, well, spoilers, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna be like, who? But yeah, it's been fun.
All right, I think that's everybody.
All right.
The raid prepared.
Yep. Are you good, Offbeat? Anything you want to say?
I'm really excited to DM this. I've been cooking this up for a bit. I hope you guys enjoy the wacky world of the rock of GSED. I think it's gonna be a good time.
Hell yeah. All right, everyone, pile into this raid. We're going to kick it with Jennings.
Kitchen
for
appliances.
hour. We'll see you on Tuesday for picking up for episode 2 of the summer series.
Bye.